What's good, y'all? This Sergio, aka Soldier, and today I'm gonna be talking about detachment. So I'm gonna just start off with what I think detachment is and what it means to me. Uh, Detachment, what I've come to learn and accept about it is nothing in this life belongs to any of us. You don't even belong to you. Your soul doesn't belong to you. Your mind, nothing. Your body, it don't belong to you. You didn't create it. You just use it, you inhabit it, you rent it, right? Like an apartment or something or a car. So having a mental attachment to things that we experience or have access to in this life can be detrimental. For me, that showed up as like dependency on things or people, right? So if I develop an attachment to somebody, I'm dependent on them, for whatever it is that I feel like I need from them, or that I feel like I can't get on my own, or I'm not producing on my own, right? So that's an attachment. If I have an attachment to smoking weed, right? And you can substitute attachment for addiction sometimes, in some cases, I guess. But let's just say weed. If I have an attachment to smoking weed and getting high, you know what? Let me just say getting high then, because you can get high in many forms without specifically weed. So if I have a attachment to getting high, I might, I might quit weed, but still chase other or use other things to get high, because my attachment is to being high. My attachment is to escaping and not experiencing life sober for whatever reasons, right? And that was a real issue for me up until recently. And you know what? I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. The other day, like today's Saturday, so let's say like Monday that just passed, I made a post uh talking about I was at the time 3 days sober off of weed and how I felt about it and blah blah blah. That night, y'all, I smoked again. I smoked that night, like late at night, like 1, 2 in the morning, something like that. Uh, so I go to sleep. That's not an excuse, but that's just why I chose to do it. Right? I was up and I knew like, all right, I want to go to sleep. So I smoked. But until then, I thought about smoking, like it crossed my mind, but I didn't have a urge or like, you know what I'm saying, a real, like just urge to do it for real. I still don't right now, even though I've smoked a few times, even last night. But me deciding to sever my attachment to, getting high or smoking weed, whatever, doesn't mean I'm not gonna use it or I'm not gonna smoke ever again in life, right? It just means in the way that I was utilizing it, I was attached to it. I was using it to alter my state so I'm not experiencing life in a, like just plainly, right? Just regularly sober. So now that I'm not, I have built up not even built, but just regained or, remembered how good it feels to be sober, right? And I can also enjoy weed better now because I can smoke every couple days instead of smoking a couple times a day, right? I can smoke every 3, 4, whatever days instead of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. And when I smoke that one day, after them 3, 4, whatever days, I'll be high as shit, right? So high, I might not even want to fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, damn, this how the fuck I used to feel and just want to feel? Like, hell no. So, severing my attachment to that has benefited me. Severing my attachment to being hurt and allowing myself to wallow in negativity. I was attached to that because it was a comfort zone for me, you know. Majority of my life has been steeped in negativity. So, I found comfort in what I deep down didn't like. But it's an attachment though, so I had to break it, sever it. And it's not that I don't feel negative things, I don't have negative thoughts, I just don't stay there. I don't, like y'all, I used to spend hours on, like, I don't know if I could count or quantify in minutes or hours how long I've spent just thinking negatively about anything, bro. It could, like, there are certain things I spent more time on than others, but just in general, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was so used to doing that, and it became like a kind of like a protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking about the negative thing before it happens, so I can have a leg up on it, or, like, you know what I'm saying, or just I can acclimate myself, prepare myself for whatever may happen, because I'm just so. But the whole time, it's actually me creating negative experiences, and just yesterday, I had a very vivid and deep acceptance and experience of the importance of discipline, not just discipline for the sake of discipline, but really making myself think positively, right? Really controlling the flow of my thoughts and my energy. It's a brother named Smart Brother, whatever. And the concept of your thoughts create your emotions create your actions create how you feel, and how you feel attracts things to you. So, and what he says is, for every, one negative thought, replace it with 100 positive ones. Now, I'm not gonna say I literally do what he did, and because he is sit there on a podcast and I love myself, like he do it 100 times. But me, I just started over time, but yesterday, very intentionally and consciously, over and over throughout the day, just whenever any negative thought came in my mind, I either just reversed the polarity of it, transmuted it, or I just let it subside. Like, I didn't dwell on it. I just let it be what it was and just left it alone. Because it's not that negativity don't happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to have these thoughts or experiences, or, it's not that you're not going to still experience things that trigger you. But dedicating yourself to the results that you want. So if I want positive results, if I want positive interactions and experiences, I have to do my part in facilitating that. I have to do my part in creating those experiences, right? First, and that come from my thoughts. That come from how I think about things. And that can mean, like, I'm gonna give y'all a scenario. The other day I was getting on the bus, and there was a brother with 3 little girls. All the little girls had to been under 5 years old, around, you know what I'm saying? The youngest probably was like 1-ish, maybe a little over 1, like, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. And I'm gonna just be real, like, this isn't a judgment, but they were dirty, y'all. Like, the guy was dirty, his clothes were dirty, and he was disheveled, pants sagging, this and that. The little girls were dirty. You could see their underwear, like, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. The hair was undone and unkempt. One little girl was chewing on a Croc shoe. So it's not a judgment, me expressing the observation that I made, but what I deterred myself from was just finding ways to be alright, because not just at their appearance or them being there at all, but they were loud and they were running around like the guy didn't have any control over them, right? They were screaming and running around the bus stop and this and that, and he had them all in like a wagon, right? Like one of them fabric wagons, like fabric made wagons. So they wanted no stroller or nothing. They just, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, young, what the fuck? But at the same time, it's like, all right, bro, I don't know them. I don't know what they're going through, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So at the very least, I'm gonna mind my business. If I don't have anything nice to think or say, I'm gonna just mind my fucking business. And then over time, you know what I'm saying? I just allow myself to feel compassion for bro, you know what I'm saying? Because he just looked like he was over everything. He just looked like he was over life, right? And it wasn't no like other female there, so I don't know what the mother was or nothing like that, but he just looked like he was over it. And it made me realize, bro, like everybody going through shit, bro. Everybody got their own situation. They at their own, developmental state within themselves and whatever. And even me intentionally being how I am, like I'm not better than anybody in life. So, I said all that to explain my detachment from negative thoughts, from negative thinking, from being judgmental. I ended up, I prayed for them. Not like I went up to them and was like, I'm gonna pray for you. To myself, I just, said a few prayers and just created positive or, things to say or think about them. Or just a way to, frame them in my mind or my experience or observation of them, right? And it helps. It keeps me clear, right? It keeps my energy, at the very least, neutral. It keeps me open, to receive the results that I want to receive. If I'm creating negative thoughts, I'm not allowing positive ones to come in. I'm not allowing positivity to come in from creating negative thoughts. You missing blessings and opportunities by creating negativity, holding on to negativity or whatever it is, in whatever form it is. So detach from it. Detach from the idea of yourself. That's another thing. Always, I don't say always, but I in different stages of my life, I've had different thoughts about myself, and I'm this, I'm that, or I'm not this, I'm not that, or I'll never do this, or I'll never do that, or blah, 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 blah. And some of those things, specifically, I've ended up experiencing or giving way to, but just detaching myself from the thought of who I think I am, I guess, if that makes sense to y'all. And just being and knowing that, yeah, at my core, I'm always going to be the same, but I'm always going to be changing too. I'm not going to be the same, and I shouldn't be the same. The Sergio I am this year, today, August 2nd, 2025, is just the same one I was August 2nd, 2024, or 2023, or, I'm not the same. But certain parts of me are still the same. So being detached from my idea of me, being detached from the thought of my life being mine, because my life still ain't mine. I just get to, I'm renting this motherfucker. Like, I don't know how the fuck I got here. You know, they say, like, you asked to be here, you chose to be here. I mean, I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm just here. Feel me? And making sense of life in this current form and state. And I appreciate life. I appreciate myself. I appreciate, being able to be here. But I know I'm not going to always be here. So I'm detached from myself. Because I'm not going to always be here, right? I'm detached from this earthly form. And this notion of me. And me being me. Because I'm not going to always be here. Yeah. But I think that's it for today. For right now, as far as detachment. Y'all let me know what y'all think, in the comments. And what does detachment mean for y'all? What things have you had to detach yourself from in life?